75 hard, a mental and physical toughness challenge that has gone quite popular over the years. It puts your mind and body to the test by requiring you to do disciplined tasks daily, and if you don't complete it by the end of each day, you have to restart. So why am I explaining this? Will I be attempting it today? Not exactly. But 75 hard is supposed to build your mental toughness and discipline, which I quite lack with one area of my life, learning Japanese. So I decided I'll make my own 75 hard challenge strictly for studying Japanese. One that pushes my limits when it comes to studying daily, and if I fail, it's back to day one. So I spent some time brainstorming what can my daily challenges be to be difficult but also doable. And after much thought, I came to my conclusion. Each day I would have to do 45 minutes of speaking practice, 45 minutes of listening practice, 45 minutes grammar review, 45 minutes vocab review, 45 minutes reading practice, and each day I would have to end it by journaling in Japanese. Essentially, this comes out to 4 hours of Japanese study per day. I was a bit sick during the beginning of this challenge, so it made staying at home and studying a breeze. The thing that made this part super easy though was the overwhelming motivation I had. It was super easy to start studying right before work and then finish it off as soon as I got home. Also, I was completely washed when it came to Japanese studying, so every little refresh point was nice. And to be honest with you, the challenge felt quite easy so far. I was even thinking, is this even worth making a video on? The challenge now started to feel quite burdensome. It felt like I just entered the twilight zone and my life was moving on half speed. I'd never seen days pass so slow before. For some more context, I've barely been studying since I've been out of college. I didn't realize how much of my time was spent playing video games, so it was quite the whiplash when my whole afternoon became me looking at a textbook and doing a try not to fall asleep challenge. Another issue is I started to notice the miserable effects of short form content cooking my brain when it comes to focusing. I was craving that dopamine from scrolling on my phone for hours, watching time pass while I just sit there. However, the biggest issue was just the studying 4 hours, the time commitment of it. I work a 9 to 5 and have to commute to the office a few days a week, so to account for commute, I would say around 8 to 6 I'm busy with work. I also try to sleep at a reasonable time every night at about midnight and try to wake up at around 7 a.m. If I don't spend an hour or two in the morning studying, then my whole evening is pretty much locked into studying that day. And this was quite annoying. Whenever I had to make plans with friends, I would have to adjust my morning schedule greatly. I kept pushing through, but my studying didn't feel too productive during this time. I would say it was still good though because I was making the conscious effort to get up and work every day, but I could see myself quitting and then never posting this video and just going back to the comfort of Summoner's Rift. However, I quit just way too many things in life. I quit learning Japanese a bunch of times, I quit playing piano, and I quit streaming. I wanted to finally complete something. And I was going to push through because eventually this challenge wouldn't be too bad. I finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel, so every day it just felt super easy. It also became quite an enjoyable experience as I started to near the end of the challenge, and it certainly became doable. I think the best way to describe it is as you're near the end of a hike, that last stretch never feels too bad because you're just so close to your goal, you can't even think about anything else. It was quite easy towards the end, and during that last stretch, I could definitely say I had the best studying that I ever had before. And also my Japanese was improving a lot. I could finally look back and see, damn, I was making some good effort. Closing thoughts. So the good from this challenge was I made a conscious effort to study every day, and that was great. I studied more than I ever had before previously. In today's age, it was also an amazing dopamine reset. I spent a lot less time engaging in activities that were time wasters, and I felt very fulfilled at the end of each day. And also my Japanese improved greatly, which I would hope so over the course of studying 75 days. 4 hours a day. For the bad, my quality of studying through day 15 to 60 was absolutely miserable. It was not quality studying at all. Definitely felt like I could have gotten more productive studying done from 2 hours of deep work than just 4 hours of less meaningful study. And just to clarify, this was not as hard as 75 hard. At the end of the day, it's just studying, and I'm studying something I enjoy. I will say though, in this day and age, a task like this is pretty difficult. It's very hard to slow down and study every day. We are so used to just getting dopamine hits on our phone every 2 seconds. So I think that's where the biggest difficulty of this challenge lies too. But it was very nice to have a mental reset and work towards a goal every day. I can confidently say that each day felt very meaningful, and I think that's the biggest benefit of this challenge. It feels really good to push through something and challenge yourself in ways that a lot of us don't do nowadays. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.